Okay.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. It's the energy update with you know who. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh, Jeremy, if this, you texted me this morning and you're like, oh, we got to do the energy update. And I'm thinking, is it already February?
Yeah, it is. It
Oh,
is. And we're actually recording this the day before the solar new year. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
it's all
it's
coming.
time.
Yeah, it's right here. Let's
It's
just grab
time.
it.
We made it through 2024, barely, but we made it through.
We did.
Yep, we
Mm-hmm.
did.
Wasn't easy, but we did
It
it.
wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So, what is one word that you took away from 2024?
Oh God, one word.
Yeah, if you could just use one word to describe.
Um, Unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
I
Okay,
think.
I love it.
What about you?
Surrender.
Oh, yeah, that's on my list
Total
too.
surrender. Yep. It was definitely one of those years that I will look back on and not miss at all.
Mm, mhm. It was a weird like, it started off so good for
Mhm.
me, you know, and
Yeah.
then it just ended with like, I felt like somebody was dragging me behind a car and hitting every speed bump and gravel and the
Yeah.
puddles and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That started for me right around, July. Yeah, halfway through the year.
Mm,
I was really super productive in 2024,
mhm.
but then July hit, and then my health went downhill. My mom passed away, and it was just like one hit after the next, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my gosh, get me through this year." So the dragon was very, very intense, and from what both of us have noticed, it was really intense
Mm,
for a majority of people.
yeah. And that's yeah, and it makes perfect sense what you just said about July. Because I have heard this from other practitioners that the first half of the year, you're getting more of the element that's ruling
Mm,
that year.
mhm.
And then the animal really doesn't fully come in until mid year. And then it's
Yeah,
all about the animal's energy.
yeah,
So I don't know the validity of that, but what you're saying with around July, that's mid year, that makes sense.
mhm.
So yeah. I mean, we've heard from a lot of people. We haven't just had our own personal experiences because of the work we're doing. We're talking to a lot of clients and it's
Yeah,
been hefty.
yeah,
That's for sure. So, what
absolutely.
is your one word looking forward into this new year that starts?
Ooh, well, so this is kind of interesting. Um, I usually come up with a term or a phrase to describe the year ahead, and the dragon year
Mm,
was the year of the dumpster fire. And
mhm.
for some reason, I can't quite pinpoint the description of the snake.
Oh,
However, there is a word in the media that's being used right now, and I feel like that's definitely the theme, and that is unprecedented.
yes. It's a word. It's a very hot word right now.
It really is, but it will
Mhm,
be a year that is very
mhm.
unprecedented.
Yeah. For sure. Do you wanna talk about that energy of the year we're going
Yeah.
into?
This is the year of the yin wood snake. Okay, so the snake is the animal or the sign of transformation. It during the Chinese New Year event with Tina, which is my favorite event of the year. If you missed it this year, please watch her email. Get on her email list so that you can be the first to join for
Mm,
2026. It's the best event of the year. It helps to
mm,
ground you, center your energy so that you know what you're getting into, or at least a glimpse as to what you're getting into for the year ahead.
mhm,
And it really is so helpful. But one of my favorite highlights of this year's event was Tina. Tina's husband Doug owns snakes. You have snakes, and you were able to kind of in the middle of the event. You were able to kind of pull one of the sheds that the snakes had done recently.
Mhm.
And the thing about the snake is it sheds its skin, everything that no longer serves us. And this isn't just if you have a snake in your chart. this is everyone,
Mm.
because the animal of the
Yeah.
year is our guide. The animal
Yes.
guides us through the year, if we let it, right?
Mhm.
Maybe I was a little resistant for the dragon last year. Maybe that's why my year was so freaking shitty, but I have a snake in my chart, so I'm really going to try to surrender to the transformation that's taking place on the planet this year.
Mm.
That's why I loved that moment in the Chinese New Year event where you brought out that skin, that snake skin that
Mm.
was just reminding all of us that we're all going through a major transformation this year.
Mhm.
This is what is on the table for us.
Yeah.
Are we going to take advantage of that and transform and shed some skin that no longer serves us?
Mhm.
Or are we going to resist that transformation? Are we going to resist that change?
Right.
So it's up to us. It's up to us. And then the second energy is the yin wood. Yin wood is kind of like a flower
Mm.
that's growing in the meadow. And when the wind kind of picks up, it kind of goes with the flow of the wind, or it's kind of like a grassy meadow. The grass kind of goes with the flow of where the wind is taking it. And
Mhm.
underneath the ground, you can see this huge network of root systems that are connecting to other plants and other flowers. So
Mm.
it's really a year of creative energy. It's a year of, because wood is the only element in the Chinese zodiac that has a beginning, life, and an end. So it has a full
Mhm.
life cycle. So it
Mm.
represents our creativity, but not only that, but connectivity to community.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is going to be an opportunity not only to transform, but to connect. This is,
Mm.
if we're heading into unprecedented times, why not have partners? Why not have
Right. Right.
multiple people carrying the load?
Mhm. I agree, and I think too, I think we have to be careful how we're connecting because
Mhm.
that wood fuels the fire of the snake. The snake is a
It does.
fire
A
animal.
fire
And
animal.
so we to me the snake is about shedding the parts of us that don't match or align with where we want to be. Do we
Mhm.
want peace on earth? Do we want wars? Like align with whatever that desire is that you feel
Mm.
is necessary, your path, whatever that is to be here,
Right.
and get rid of everything else. Don't engage in anything else that does not align with that, including people. If
Mhm.
they are not in alignment with your core values of honesty, integrity, compassion, empathy, or whatever your core values are, then shed it, get rid of it,
Yeah.
because they'll be okay. They'll absolutely be okay. But we have to be careful what fires we're fueling and feeding and tending to. I
Mhm.
personally want to tend to the fire that brings people together,
Yeah.
that is provides light and warmth, not the fire that's going to destroy. Those are
Yeah.
going to happen anyway, those destructive fires and that kind of change. But
Mhm.
if you want to gather around the fire and, comfort one another and look at the stars, let's do that.
Yeah. That
That's
sounds really great, and connecting and telling each other stories and sharing music and
mm,
love, sharing
yeah,
love with each other.
yeah, that's that four energy for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else around this new year that stands out of what to watch out for?
Um, I mean, if you want to connect with me on Western astrology, this is a major year in the Western astrology world. We have 5 different planets leaving the sign that they're in right now and entering another sign, and there's going to be more information about the Western side of things on my newsletter each month, so
Hmm.
be looking for that. But again, unprecedented times, so
Do you
find
want to
the
share a little
people.
bit? Do you want to share
What
a
was
little
that?
bit right now? Do you want to share some about the Western stuff now?
Yeah, I mean, we've in 2024, we had Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, leave the sign of Capricorn, which represents structure and stability, and then
Of course.
move into the sign of Aquarius, which is revolution. And we're
Mm,
already seeing that. So if we're going into, a snake transformation year, right? We want to allow that transformation to really do what Pluto's asking us to do, which is that death and rebirth process. And then,
wow.
like I said, 4 other planets are going to be leaving a sign and entering a sign. And the last time that happened, some pretty major things were going on planet Earth. So this is going to be
Mm,
a major year of change. So
mm. Yeah.
just get ready, find your people. And one of my mentors, her name is Vicky. She asks the question for 2025. Ask the questions: Who do I love? What do I love? And how do I focus on that love?
Mm. Wow. I really love that because the two stars flying into the center,
It is.
which is about love and healing, and that's what heals is love.
Yeah. And the
And
center is
oh,
the health of your home, the health of humanity, the
hmm,
health of um, our bodies. So
yeah,
yeah,
beautiful. Ooh, I love that. Love that. Well, should we dive into February
let's
specifically?
do it.
Okay,
Let's do it.
February is the month of the Young Earth Tiger. This is again
Mhm.
some kind of mixed energy.
Yeah, it
Let's get
is.
used to it. I'm not going to try to, sugarcoat it. Let's just get used to it that it's a very extreme dynamic existence right now. And
Yeah.
therefore, that's how things are going to show up. They're
Mhm,
supporting that energy because that's what we've co created.
mhm.
So we're getting more of what we are putting out there. The reason I'm saying that is because the tiger is a young wood animal, and it's all about the beginning of spring. The 3rd of February is the beginning of spring for the Eastern world. And so it's about springing forward, taking a
Mhm.
leap, going, planting seeds, meeting people, getting outside, opening the doors and windows, freshening things up. It's new life getting ready to come in.
Yeah,
So there's this big energy that wants to move forward, but we have young earth sitting on top of it, which is a
yeah,
mountain.
yeah.
To me, it looks like a big hill for us to climb.
It
It's a
does.
lot of work that we have ahead of us, that we're
Mhm.
starting off this year with that kind of energy where there's a lot of let's go, we got things to do. And then there's whether it's like other people putting their foot down saying no, or they're squashing ideas, or it's just like this really treacherous climb, or it looks like, oh, we got a long way to go yet, is what it feels like to me.
Yeah, and let's not forget that the tiger is the animal of authority and power. So there's
Hmm.
going to be a lot of people wanting to exercise their authority and power,
Yeah.
but if there's a mountain ahead of us, I mean, I like this analogy because, if there is a mountain ahead of us, it's kind of like, how the phrase goes, "Making a mountain out of a molehill."
Hmm.
There's other ways around the mountain. We can go around the mountain if we want to, or we can choose the higher the climb, right? We can
Hmm.
choose
Yeah.
the hard way of climbing that mountain. Or we can sit at the foot of the mountain and ask the mountain what it wants to teach us. Where can we
Mhm.
find structure and stability in our life in
Yeah.
such unprecedented times?
Yeah. Beautiful. Because that really is mountain energy. It's grounded, it's
Mhm.
stable, it's not going
Yeah.
anywhere. So we have to work around it. And what is that? What are you going to do? It just because it's there doesn't mean we can't move forward.
Right.
So, such a good message. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
saying that. What else about that energy stands out, or do you want to talk about?
Um Well, with with the tiger wants to pounce on opportunity. But if the opportunity is at the very top of the mountain, then maybe we need to look at all of the opportunities around us
Mm,
instead of just that one.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
there might be more opportunities if we have tunnel vision and we've got the blinders on and we're just going for that one opportunity, it might be a little
hmm,
bit harder of a month than
hmm,
it could be if we're looking for other opportunities too.
yeah. I like that. I like that perspective. If you weren't at the Chinese New Year event and you want access to the recordings, I have opened that up if somebody wants to buy into those because we do get into the flying stars.
Mhm.
And the flying stars this month are are layered in. It's the annual stars are the same as the month stars. And
Mhm.
so wherever it's good, it's really good, and wherever it's tough, it's gonna be really tough.
Very tough,
And
yep.
that whole north side of your property, northeast, north, and northwest is gonna be challenging,
Yeah.
really challenging. So you could look at this month as like, okay, bring it on. Let's just get after what needs to be got after.
Mhm.
The stars in the north area will continue for the rest of the year, but they won't
Mhm.
be doubled up like they are in February until November, I think. Then they'll double
Yeah.
up again. So that northern side of your property, we don't want to be, renovating, digging holes, climbing up on ladders, standing on the roof. We want to be careful, very
Yeah.
careful around those areas of our property. It's just some heavy energy, and heavy energy during heavy times is a lot.
Mhm.
And I don't, it's not to scare, it's just to prepare and to just like, oh, okay, well, that's good because I can put that task off until another day.
Sure.
What about the
Yeah.
animals? How are the animals going to relate with the tiger?
Well, the first one that comes to mind is the monkey, because the monkey and the tiger, they form the clash. They're the one, the monkey is the one that, he's swinging through the trees, and he has freedom, and he's grabbing a coconut and throwing it at the rock, throwing it at the head of the tiger, and the tiger is just kind of waiting patiently at the base of the tree, telling the monkey to get serious about shit, right? And the monkey doesn't want that. So this month, monkeys, you might feel a little bit more restrained when it comes to freedom. You might
Hmm.
feel like you have to be a little bit more serious than you want to be. So be careful about the jokes that you crack. Be
Hmm.
careful about like time management, things like that, because the tiger really wants us to be serious.
Yeah. Look at the fine print. Yeah, it's not all fun and games. Don't be careless. Great insights. I'm a little bit I was a little bit bummed for the snake because the snake it's like this is the year, right? It's
Yeah.
like just make it about me for God's
Yeah.
sake. But then the
Hmm.
tiger and the snake, I actually have some notes here if I can find them. It's called a damage or a harm.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not able to find my notes very quickly.
Well, while you're finding the notes, I'll tell you a little story about how I experienced this energy, since I'm the year
Ooh.
of the snake. During the year of the tiger, which was 2022, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
2022. Um, I had a lot of crazy changes that happened that year that all pulled me out of my comfort zone. The snake likes to be coiled up in the bushes, and it doesn't like to be bothered. And if it is bothered, it has to make a snap decision whether or not it's going to strike or not. But during the tiger year, I was being pulled out of my little thicket of weeds all year long. And it felt like there was this cat that was just pulling me out into the open, and I was exposed, right? So these two animals don't trust each other, because the tiger's trying to prowl through the woods, through the bushes to find its prey. It doesn't want to be worried about getting bit by a snake, right? And vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. A
Mm-hmm.
snake doesn't want to be bothered, and the tiger looks at it like a play toy, right? So
Yeah, you're exactly right. So I did find it, and this is inauspicious energy that can bring about misfortune, illness, and injury. So this
Mhm,
is really about overcoming our shadow side. So this is the message for snake people, just for the month of February mainly.
mhm,
This pairing, the snake and tiger, is distrustful and skeptical. This pairing risks misjudged interactions and heightened accident risks. So be careful.
mm.
What else? What do you think of the
Um,
pig? Because the pig, it's that love-hate relationship.
yeah, because it has two aspects that connect it. And the first one is the love part that you're talking about. And the pig is secret friends with the tiger. So this is a really genuine friendship between these two animals, a camaraderie, and they're able to get along in a really positive way. But we're talking about the pig, and the pig is the animal that tends to overdo things. So it also, on the flip side of this secret friend relationship, if it if it overdoes things, it's also over here, which is what it's called a breakup. And it can kind of it can refer to breakup energy with relationships sometimes, but I
Hmm.
like to look at it as more of an end of a chapter and a beginning of a new one. So,
Mm,
I mean, it's
okay.
one of those things where it is a love-hate relationship with the pig.
Hmm. I have a note here that says the tiger pig relationship. Oftentimes, the outcome is a feeling like someone is trapped in a situation that leaves no choices, causing damaging consequences in the future. So, yeah, it's a lot of energy. Plus, the pig is clashing with the snake for the year.
This year. Yeah.
So, this is kind of a triple
Yeah.
whammy for pig people. So it might just be a great month to really focus inward.
Mhm.
Don't offer your services, don't overly extend your time and your energy.
Yeah.
Direct all
Lay
that to
low.
yourself and take care of your home life and
Mhm.
get prepped for the rest of the year.
Mhm. I think that's a good idea. And if you are gonna be out in public, protect yourself. I tell
Mm.
people that are having a difficult month, start with a morning meditation where you're
Mm.
encapsulating yourself in an egg of light, and you imagine your angels walking with you wherever you go
Mm.
throughout the day. And then when you get home, take a shower and imagine everyone's energy sloughing off of you and going down the drain.
Beautiful. Gosh, that's just good insights for everybody, but
Yeah.
especially the pig. Stay on top of
Yeah.
that. Because we
Yep.
want you to continue to be of service, but you've got a lot. Pig has a lot of inner work to do this year.
Mhm.
And so it's okay to say no. It's ideal to say no to the
It
wants
is.
and needs of other people because
Mhm.
you need to work. Really, it's about working on yourself. So then the next 8 years that come afterward, you can full out and be all pig, all generous, all big heart and caring, and I'll do for you whatever you need.
Yeah.
This is your year
Yeah.
to build back up.
It is, and
Mhm.
I one of the things that I wanna say to if you have a pig in your chart and you're listening, pigs tend to start feeling guilty if they're not being of service to
Mm.
other people. The same as
Mhm.
dogs. They start to
Yep.
feel guilty about that. This is not a year to feel guilt about taking care of yourself.
Mhm.
It's kind of like when you're on the airplane and they're like, "Put your mask on first, and then you can put your kids on."
Yep.
Pigs, this is your year to put your mask on first, not to care about everyone else, and that's
Mhm.
gonna be a little bit difficult because, again, this is a crazy year we're embarking on, so
Mhm.
there's gonna be a lot of people that need a lot of help, but pigs, take care of yourself first.
Exactly. Great tip. Speaking of that too, go on vacation. Pig is a travel animal. There's three
Mhm,
travel animals in the snake's chart for the year. People
mhm,
are moving out, they're being shipped out, they're traveling. This is a mass exodus
yeah,
year
and mhm,
for the United States. So
yeah,
take advantage of that energy because who knows,
yeah,
prices of travel might be dropping, more opportunities to go where you hadn't dreamed of going before.
yeah,
So follow that urge.
mhm.
Anything else?
Nothing that I can think of.
So I'm feeling a little bit like this was not negative, but like, oh no, this kind of sounds like, do we have to worry about the year? Do we all have to isolate and not go outside? I just, it's not about that. It really is about being very clear in what you desire. This is about
Mhm,
us reflecting inward. What is
yeah,
my personal needs? Of course, if
mhm,
you have little children or you're a caregiver for somebody, of course, that will come into play as well. But it's not about stepping into this with fear. Now, I get that there's a lot of fear. I
oh,
feel
yeah,
it too. We feel it in our home right now because of specific circumstance. I know you and your husband are feeling it.
Yeah,
Um,
we are.
we can feed that fire. We can absolutely fuel that fire and sit around it and just be heated up with fear.
Mhm,
And we can have our moments, but that's not ideal to just sit in that constantly. So, taking classes that will help you understand yourself better, meditation classes, getting a mindful app, going and doing something physical like yoga or Tai Chi, do something for yourself. It is
mhm,
so necessary. That's what I love about the snake energy is it's all about me.
mhm.
And that's really what we need to do is make it all about me. I
Yeah,
mean you, like us.
yeah. And remember the 3 things. Who do I love?
Mhm.
What
I
do
like
I
that.
love? How can I grow that love? How can I expand that?
Mhm.
Because there's a lot to be afraid about right now, and if we're focusing on that, that's gonna get all of our attention. We don't want that. We want to focus on what we can how we can work with the energy this of the year instead of working against us.
Mhm. I just writing that down. I love that. Thanks. Is it Vicky that did that?
Yeah, Vicky,
Okay. Thank you.
the wonderful
All right.
Vicky Cloud. Let's pull a card and see what we need for the month. Oh, I love this card. Okay, so I'm pulling cards from this month from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette
Mm,
Baron Reed.
mm,
Love this deck, and it's the Lady of the Mirror. And what the Lady of the Mirror is about is reflection and non-judgment.
hmm,
So many times we are looking in a mirror and seeing everything that we don't want, everything we don't like, saying really mean things to ourselves and figuring out where we need to go. Well, this is not about that. It's about reflection of how far we've come. We all made it through 2024. If you're watching this, you made it through 2024.
mhm,
Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back, and reflect on how far you've come instead of how far you feel like you need to go. And also, when you look in the mirror, rather than looking in the mirror with judgment, look in the mirror and see what your friends and family see. All of the people that absolutely
mm,
love you and all of the wonderful things that they say to you, say those things to yourself when you look in the mirror this month.
mm,
Looking in the mirror is also about taking responsibility and really staying in your own lane. So do that
mhm.
this month.
Yeah. Perfect ending. Thank you, my friend. All right,
You're
we can
welcome.
do this. This is going to
We
be a
can do
year
it.
that we'll never forget.
Right. Please feel free to reach out to us. This is our busy season because it's the
Mhm,
beginning of the year. We're both available for readings right now, so please reach out to us if you need any kind of um, uh, help figuring out your strategy for working with the
mm.
energy.
Well said. Perfect. Yes, invitation is open. Thanks,
Yes.
Jeremy. So glad
Thank
I have
you.
you to get through this year with.
Right back at you, my friend.
Bye bye.
Bye.